In the previous lesson, we successfully compromised Android from our Kali Linux device running Metasploit, and we inserted a Meterpreter shell that was able to call back to our Kali box and let us control things from the command line. So I downloaded that picture file just a little bit ago. Let's see how we can get to it, and then we'll do a few other fun things here in our Android device. So back in Kali, I'm still in Meterpreter. I'll run a few more commands like ipconfig, and I can see that my Android device is that 10.0.3.7. Let's do an ls. Now, there's nothing in this metasploit.com folder, but let's go to SD card and list the contents. Well, look at that. We got the entire storage. Let's go to download, cd download, and ls. And look, I downloaded the funnygame.apk a couple of times. I've also got that Open Logo 75, so let's take a look at that. Download Open Logo 75.png. And let's go to our home folder and see if we can see that. So if we go to home, I now have an Open Logo 75.png. I can see what I downloaded on that Android device. So let's go back up one directory, cd ... ls, and you notice I have a DCIM folder. If you have ever seen a DCIM folder, you know what that is. That's your camera. So any pictures you may have taken are going to be exposed if they're on your SD card. Any pictures you may have saved are on here. Your music, your movies, notifications, ringtones, podcasts, alarms, you name it. So if I connect this Android emulator out to the World Wide Web, if I put it on our public NATed network and then do some surfing, download some images, download some music files, make a few changes, then bring it back, close out that public net and come back to the internal host-only network, I'll be able to surf everything, see everything that I've done on that Android device from my Kali Linux box running Meterpreter. Well, let's see what else we can do while we're here. What if we wanted to upload another backdoor or another executable that we could run on this Android device? Well, let's see where we are. pwd. We're in this emulated storage because this is running on an emulator, but if this were a real Android device, this would be an actual SD card. Let's see if we could create a directory, or make a directory called test. And then list. And notice I have a new directory called test. Let's cd inside there. Cd into test. And there's nothing inside test yet. But let's come over here in our second terminal window, or open a second terminal window if you don't have one. And let's take this funnygame.apk and upload it. Let's move it up one directory. So I'm going to say cp my root./desktop. So I'll just say desktop from here because I'm in my home folder. Fun, and then hit tab. And then say to here, dot. Because I'm in my home directory by default over here. If I copy that funnygame.apk up one directory or into this home folder and then do an ls, I will now see my funnygame.apk in my root directory. So I'm in as root, pwd, on my local machine, and you do need to be in root to be able to do this next step. I'm going to upload funnygame.apk, and then I'll press enter. Now do an ls, and we have uploaded a backdoor file or a reverse TCP connection that runs Meterpreter into a folder on our SD card. So remotely from my Kali Linux machine, I've not only compromised that Android device, now I've uploaded another file, in this case the same Meterpreter reverse TCP attack, and it's going to permanently be on that SD card until I find out about it on my Android device and remove it. Just for fun, let's rename that funnygame.apk to something like securitypatch.apk. So say mv funnygame.apk as securitypatch.apk, and then ls. And now under that test folder, it just looks like securitypatch.apk. So we've seen how to download files, how to surf through our entire user directory and our entire SD card, and see everything from the digital camera pictures that we've taken to our downloads, our movies, our music, our podcasts, the rest of our storage. We've even created a folder on our Android device and uploaded another exploit file while we've been in using Meterpreter with reverse TCP. The combinations of things that you can do with this are almost endless. And like I said earlier, we've only just begun to use Metasploit and Meterpreter. There's so much more to learn out of those 1,600 exploits and all of the auxiliary and other scripts that you can run from inside Metasploit. You've got plenty of things that you can try, plenty of things to learn, but we've seen that we can compromise an Android device almost exactly as easily, and using most of the same types of tools, Metasploit and Meterpreter, that we use to break into a Windows 7 or a Windows 10 computer. Android is not much different. We've got full access to the file system of this Android device, and we could even upload other exploits and run those as well. So I hope you've enjoyed a little bit of Android hacking. Dig around in your Android emulator device a little bit more until you find some other fun things. Do some searches on the internet for other exploits, or look back through that MSF Venom list and see what other kinds of things you'd like to try on your Android device. The main thing is to keep learning. You will never get every exploit down perfectly, but you can learn how to use a few of them really well. And we have exercised that Meterpreter reverse TCP across 3 different platforms now, and we've seen that we can actually compromise several different types of devices, not just laptops and desktops running Windows. There are exploits for OS X, there are exploits for Linux, and of course, we just saw an exploit that worked for Android devices, even a brand new Android VM we just booted up and downloaded from the internet just a few sections ago. So I hope this has been an eye-opening experience for you. Be careful when you're online. There are a lot of dangers out there, but you can avoid most of them just by being aware that this is possible and not clicking through suspicious links, downloading suspicious files, or running suspicious executables. And you should be suspicious of almost everything. I hope you've enjoyed everything you've learned in the course so far. And please keep posting comments and questions. I'll be glad to answer those, and I'm always looking for new ideas for new videos to post. Thanks, and have fun with ethical hacking.